Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Real. It's Trek Tuesday, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of the original series, The Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, or Enterprise. Today I'm looking at Sleeping Dogs from Enterprise's first season. Or as I like to call it, that time Hoshi took on the Klingons. We begin the episode with Hoshi doing a little target practice. She's bad at it, but blames the weapon, so Malcolm tells her to relax and try again. The ship slows down because they've arrived at a gas giant. Hoshi has the worst trigger discipline! And into the credits we go. Enterprise sends a probe in, which T'Pol is not impressed with, until she detects a ship and life signs inside the gas giant. Malcolm has man flu, which he's cross with.
I don't see how I could actually catch a cold on a hermetically sealed starship.
So Phlox gives him some medicine and tells him to go to bed. But Malcolm says he can't. He's got to go on the away team investigating the ship.
Try not to sneeze in your helmet.
Hoshi visits the captain, offering to go on the away mission.
Took a while, but I think I finally got my space legs.
I never doubted that you'd find them.
And Archer reveals that T'Pol requested her on the mission anyway, but Malcolm isn't helpful.
Trust me, if there's a hull breach, the pressure will crush you into something about this big.
The trio take a shuttle into the gas giant, and T'Pol reports the ship is sinking, so they'll only have a limited time to do anything before the hull pressure gets too much.
We'll be on our way back well before we're in any danger.
Somehow I don't think so, buddy. They dock and discover the air is breathable, so use Malcolm as a guinea pig. But joke's on them because he can't smell whatever's in the air. Hoshi translates some writing and announces it's Klingon. That is the correct reaction. And Hoshi questions why T'Pol didn't recognize the ship from the outside, seeing as Vulcans are so well traveled. She brushes over it, saying there's 3 life signs, which they find, but T'Pol says they should leave because Klingons want to die in battle. But Malcolm says they should at least try to do something. Oh, hello! T'Pol tells Archer they've detected more biosigns and says some sort of toxin did them in, while Trip estimates they've got about half an hour before the ship gets crushed, so Archer tells T'Pol she has 20 minutes before they have to head back. T'Pol says 20 minutes is not enough time to do anything, so they should just leave now, and the comm system drops out as Ninja Klingon sneaks around. Malcolm goes to investigate, only to get jumped, and the girls come to help, but it's too late.
What's that? It's our shuttle pod taking off.
Travis spots the shuttle, but it sods off, and they pick up a Klingon message, but with Hoshi not around, Trip has to work out the universal translator himself. The message says Enterprise attacked them and everyone should retaliate, so Enterprise retaliates by grappling the shuttle in the butt. The Klingon lady says hello to the security team, so Trip and Archer shoot her. And while Archer wants to take another shuttle, Travis says it's too dangerous, so I guess Enterprise is diving in head first. The trio discuss what they should do and decide their best bet is to try and get the ship moving, so T'Pol orders Hoshi to look for the engine controls.
I'll try, but reading Klingon is a lot different than speaking it.
Hoshi, honey, the first thing you did when you got on board was instantly translate Klingon writing, so I think you'll be fine. Malcolm is excited by the weapons, and T'Pol finds the helm, so Malcolm pokes around at it, setting off an alarm, and does a pretty decent impression of Trip.
To quote our very own Mr. Tucker, it means we're dead in the water.
Archer calls the gang and says they're coming to pick them up, but their probe explodes and the hull pressure gets dangerous, so they have to abort the rescue mission. Phlox has a very enthusiastic patient with a neurotoxin in her system, and I love this random kitchen roll holder.
T'Pol said the Klingons were unconscious. Why is this one so lively?
Phlox explains that she's borderline freezing, so she must have hidden somewhere cold that slowed the toxin's effect. And Archer goes to talk to Cranky Pants, who accuses him of attacking their ship, and even though Archer offers to help, she threatens to kill them all.
Remind me to stop trying to help people.
Travis has found the schematics for the Klingon ship in the Vulcan database, and Trip uses the information to suggest reinforcing a shuttle with some techno-nonsense to allow them to rescue their people, while they are looking fab in their matching grey outfits, and come across a captain's log who is once again Vaughn Armstrong, aka Admiral Forrest, who was a last-minute replacement and was worried about getting his head around the Klingon language. Hoshi whips out a translator, and basically, after the Klingons destroyed some rando ship, they got stuck in the gas giant, and everyone was too ill to get themselves out of it. But illness and a good pressure crushing is not an honourable way to die, so as it stands, they're all pretty fucked if they want to get a decent afterlife. With knowledge of what's wrong with the ship, they set out to fix it, but someone left a sleeping Klingon on the console, so T'Pol and Malcolm just chuck him out of the way. Malcolm is feeling poorly and gives himself a boo-boo, so T'Pol concludes he's dehydrated, and she and Hoshi go off to find some water. The galley is pretty nasty.
They look like worms.
They are worms.
And a spooky noise turns out to be these friendlies, so nope. Hoshi has a bit of a freak out, so T'Pol comforts her and teaches her a Vulcan technique to help calm her down, and it's a really nice moment.
When we return to the ship, I'll teach you how to do it on your own.
The ship bloops, so Malcolm reports they're out of time, and now they're pretty screwed. Malcolm decides he wants to fire the weapons, and sure dude, whatever will make you happy before you die. Archer decides on a new approach with their guest and tells her they have a cure and asks her about the alcohol they all drank, which got them infected. But she's a stubborn cow. However, Archer pulls the whole "don't let your crew die dishonorably" stunt, which seems to work. Malcolm's shooty bang bang approach doesn't work, so he wants to try a bigger boom, which Archer feels in the shuttle. And Hoshi and Malcolm bicker because what else is there to do when you're about to die? Hoshi comes up with a batshit crazy plan, and Malcolm is on board.
Look, I didn't come all this way to get crushed in the atmosphere of some anonymous gas giant.
And they go for it, which not only miraculously doesn't kill them, but it also allows Archer to find them. He and the Klingon lady board so she can help get this thing moving, and scare the shit out of Trip, who's been left in command by sneaking up on him. Enterprise is all ready to go when the Klingon ship hails them, threatening to destroy them. Trip sounds so annoyed.
They're charging weapons.
Archer rattles off all the ways they would get their asses kicked,
If I were you, I'd take what little honor I had left and go home.
and basically tells them to piss off, which seems to work. In decon, damn, Malcolm! I'm just gonna hit pause real quick. Anyway, in decon they try to ignore a hail, but T'Pol answers it, and it's Phlox, saying they're all free to go. But Hoshi and Malcolm are having a nice time and want to hang out more. So T'Pol lies, saying she's got a headache, and they all chill out.
Do you smell that?
I don't smell anything.
Exactly.
Okay, so I chose to cover this episode because it puts the focus on characters that often don't get screen time. Let's face it, Archer, Trip and T'Pol are kind of the main focus of the show. And don't get me wrong, I would sit and watch Trip read the phone book, but it's nice that characters like Hoshi and Malcolm get to come to the forefront. I could do a whole video on why Hoshi and Malcolm should have been the couple on the show, not Trip and T'Pol. Maybe I should do that video. And is the next instance after the episode's silent enemy of them having adorable chemistry. Hoshi has definitely settled after her disastrous away mission in Fight or Flight. And even though she does have a bit of a meltdown, I like how she's the one who ultimately comes up with a batshit plan that saves their lives. I really like the bonding moment between Hoshi and T'Pol, especially as they're the only two female cast members. But I'm disappointed that this isn't explored further. In fact, this goodwill will actually be undone in the episode Vox Solar, where the pair argue for most of the runtime, and Hoshi accuses T'Pol of never trusting her. For this moment to work, it really should have been placed after Vox Solar, not before it. Now on to Malcolm, and I low-key love him. He's such a dork, but despite kind of distancing himself from the rest of the crew, he does want to feel like he belongs, and he's really good at his job. If you look at Malcolm in this episode and the show in general, he's always the first to go into dangerous situations, protects everyone else, and takes no shit when it comes to the safety of the ship and its crew. Now compare that to the two security guards that went to investigate the shuttle bay. They let Trip and Archer go in first and still managed to get their butts kicked. I also love that even though Malcolm was ill on the Klingon ship, he stayed behind by himself so T'Pol could go with Hoshi and told them to be careful. Malcolm's the friggin' best, guys. We can't forget while we're talking about characters to check in on Travis, who is usually forgotten about in most episodes. But here, he's given quite a bit to do. In fact, everyone contributes, making this a well-balanced episode overall. And even though he's not the main focus, Trip has some great moments when he's on screen. Now, as for the story itself, it's not one of those episodes I really think about compared to those standout ones for me like Acquisition, Shuttle Pod 1, Desert Crossing, Dawn, I'm just naming trip-heavy episodes, aren't I? But I like it when I watch it due to the characters all getting a chance to shine, and also it's a good one for casual Star Trek viewers to understand what the Klingons are all about. And while it's satisfying to see Archer tell the Klingons where to stick it, his actions and the actions of his crew will come back to help him when he's standing trial in the future in Season 2's Judgment, which is a nice bit of setup that Enterprise does so well. So there you have it. That was Sleeping Dogs. If there's an episode of Star Trek you'd like me to cover, pop it down in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot, or consider subscribing if you want to be assimilated into my channel. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channel, Jane Plays Games Badly. Thank you so much for watching, I'll speak to you soon, and live long and prosper.